Hi guys, it's Julie the Oracle here. I have a new deck and I'm so excited. So it's a funny story. I have a cat tarot deck and I should bring it up more often. I do bring it out once in a while, but I have more than one actually. But the actual cat tarot deck, I found it at an Earthbound trading company. You know, they're usually in the mall or wherever they are. But originally, when I decided to get back, when I started learning tarot, I went and picked up this deck and I trained on it, on the cat tarot. And I absolutely love it. So my mother, bless her heart, okay, she tries to support me in this. And she always, like, the last couple of times, like, for my, I think it was my birthday? I can't remember. But I think it was around my birthday, she bought me the cat tarot deck again. And she went to Earthbound Trading because I told her that's where I found some of my decks. And she hasn't really picked up on ordering from Amazon or Wish, or not Wish, but like Etsy and all. You know, the places that have the really good decks, she hasn't really figured out how to order from those yet. So not the most tech savvy person, but I'm going to try to get her used to it and show her stuff. But it's funny because she just goes out shopping in person. She went there and bought the cat tarot deck, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, but I'm like, I already have this one. And she's like, oh no, well, here's a receipt. You can take it back and trade it in. So it's a funny story. And I don't know if I told this before, but I went back and to Earthbound Trading the first time, and I traded in for this deck, which is like the anime deck that I use. I think it's pretty cool. They're kind of limited on what they have in their stock at Earthbound Trading. So I kind of had to look around and kind of feel what called to me and what I thought I could use. And I don't mind getting decks that are more, like, you have to use more intuition because they don't have the beautiful pictures. And this is kind of a combination here where you're kind of having to just use your intuition with some of these basic things. Because, you know, what does it tell you? It's whatever comes to your mind, whatever you sense about it and feel about it. So I got the anime deck, and then for Christmas, like, Christmas just passed as of this recording. We're heading into the new year. And I did receive a deck for Christmas, and I knew it was a deck, and I was so excited. I opened up, I was like, it is the cat tarot again. It's like the third time. The third time. Oh, it cracks me up. It's like, oh, I was like, I love this, but I already have it. It's like the second time you bought me this. And I didn't want her to feel bad about it, so I appreciate it. She knows how much I like cats, obviously. I love cats, just so you know, if you haven't already figured that without my oracles and stuff with the cats. But yes, I've gotten this deck twice since I've bought it. So we just went back and traded, and I got this deck. This deck is really cool because it is based on, let me see, where's the name of it? Forgot. Yeah, it's called Tarot, well, here. There you go. You can see it. Tarot del Toro. Isn't that cool? And just to give you a little background, this is an original deck inspired by the wondrous world of Guillermo del Toro. This deck, created under the supervision of the master filmmaker and designed and illustrated by Tomas Hijo. Hope I said that right. It features original artwork inspired by the themes, imagery, and characters of some of Del Toro's most popular films, including Pan's Labyrinth, Crimson Peak, and The Shape of Water. Oh, I love The Shape of Water, guys. If you've seen that movie, it is amazing. So he's, this guy, he makes really awesome movies, let me just tell you. So I was kind of excited. I guess he supervised in it, and they had somebody do the artwork for it, but inspired by his movies, I mean, that's pretty creative, and I was drawn to it. So this is what I traded in for, and it's a pretty cool deck. This is what the back of it looks like. It's kind of got a darkness to it. But it's whimsical in a way too. And see, look, like the tower, and most of it's kind of basic wands, and your emperor looks like a tree. And Justice, look at that. It's like, wow, Justice actually, it's like a skeleton in this one. So it's different. And Ace of Dis, you got these goblins. I haven't seen all these movies, so if I see something I do recognize, you know, I'll let you know. But I just think it's a cool deck, and I'm glad to be able to reading for it. So this is got me kind of spinning the wheels here. I wanted to try something I found online, and it was sort of an inspirational thing about how do you feel at the end of the week. It's kind of it was called an end of the week check-in. However, I'm going to do an end of the month check-in. At the time that this reading will be posted, It's going to be early January 2024. This can be timeless. This is a timeless reading that you could take anytime. I'll probably do it again at other times of the year because there is no timestamp on this type of reading. You can do this as a spread for yourself if you're really into tarot, and you can do it as an end of week check-in, end of month, end of year if you want. So I wanted to kind of like check in with, see how you guys were doing. I decided to try end of month. I might kind of, wait and do an end of year next week or something like that. So we'll see. In the following weeks, you'll see another one come out, and I'll probably just call it an end of year, and we'll see how your entire year went. But we're really broadening for everybody with as many people that are now liking, subscribing, and commenting. I'm getting a lot more information, so everybody's situation is different. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. So I hope you enjoy this. It wasn't intended to be a spread, but I made it a spread. So it consists of 6 cards, and we're going counterclockwise. The first card up here is called I Feel, or in this case, you feel. So I was asking the cards, how do you, as in my viewers, feel? So those of you that are watching, this is your feelings. How do you feel after the month of December? And so I have the King of Wands here. He kind of looks like he's just kind of over it. And so he's tired. He's got his wands, but his leaves don't even look green, if you notice. Like, they almost look fall-like, when leaves are dying and falling, and it's before winter comes, and then spring is renewal in a way. So I'm kind of looking at him. He's very tree-like. And so what do I want to say how you feel? I feel like you're kind of frazzled. I mean, December's a pretty busy month with all the holidays, and sometimes you're going to see family, they're coming to see you. You got to worry about, birthdays and Christmas and New Year's and all of this stuff that's happening. And there's a lot of shopping and cooking and planning, and and there's always like maybe some, I don't know if people still do it because of COVID and all that, but used to be when you were working, you'd have big potlucks at work and people would bring food, and some people still had parties to go to. And after a while, you're just like, wow, I'm so tired. I could just sleep for the rest of January. And he looks tired to me. He looks tired. He looks like kind of incredible. He's old. It's aged him a little bit, but he's resting right now, but he's very rooted to the ground. And the King of Wands is a very creative person. So I think that you are pooped on creativity at this point. So December was a very creative month for people, especially if you like to make things or hands-on create projects and things that you wanted to do, rather than people, doing the whole buying things out of, commercialization. We get tired of all the commercials telling us to buy this and buy that. And like I don't want to buy them all these gift sets. Like, people don't care about this stuff. Most people. Unless somebody specifically loves to get like certain themed mugs and stuff like that, then But everybody has their preferences and their likes, and when somebody, exactly like what you would want to get them. And you do it, it's the thought that counts. And so when you do it, you usually do it with them in mind, going, oh, it reminds me of them. I think they would love this. That's where the thought counts the most. So I think some of you were a lot of creatives, and my King of Wands here are feeling pretty frazzled though, because they are like they're just pooped. This is a word that keeps coming to mind. There's no more art in you right now. Like, you need to take a break, because you need the New Year's energy to flow into you and just kind of refresh you. And you need to be rejuvenated, re-energized. And I would suggest, not that you need a suggestion, this is just how you're feeling, but how you're feeling about December, I would suggest that now that we're into January, maybe go do a salt float or a massage or get a facial. Just do something where you treat yourself. Something that will allow you to relax. Those salt floats are amazing. Let me tell you, if you're claustrophobic or afraid of drowning, like it's a really bad fear, I wouldn't do it. But I mean, it's not so bad. Like, I've been in the pod that's like kind of small, kind of feels like you're getting inside a UFO or something. It's got the beautiful like colored lights, but it's very dark in there, and it's very warm, and you're basically just laying there naked in salt water. And it's very relaxing, but the idea of getting water in my ears and the salt and everything, if you have any like wounds, it might burn a little bit, but I think there's essential oils in the water too. And it's luxurious. If you really love that, do it. I would say do it. You need to treat yourself. You need to do something that just relaxes you. For the rest of you that really don't like the water or want to be enclosed in something, yeah, just get a massage. Let somebody massage. Get a Swedish or a hot stone. That's going to help you kind of relax and melt. And then whatever you need to do to raise your vibrations, like when you feel depleted of energy, it's always good to like take a chill pill day, you know, play a game or do something like where you're not having to do much. And maybe treat yourself. Order some Chinese food or that way you're not having to cook a whole lot. Because, you know, we did a lot of cooking this past month, right? So with all that cooking and stuff we did for family, it's like enjoy your peace and quiet. Maybe read a book. Just do something where you can go into your own head and like curl up. Get a hot chocolate with some whipped cream on top and get a blanket and curl up. And I hope you have a rainy day where you can just sit there and listen to the rain. And you know, this is one of those things where you just want to lay in bed all day. Do it. Like watch back to back to back movies. I don't care, you know, or you can just binge watch something, but whatever it is, it just allows you to relax and just not do anything. And I think that majority of us could use that right now because it seems like we've been getting up and going. And now it's like January is a time to rest and rejuvenate. So my King of Wands, take care of yourself, please. This is going to be important for you. You don't want to keep, you know, sitting there stressing out about stuff like the hard part's over. January, you know, the next big thing is what, Valentine's Day, and a lot of us don't even like it. So it's over commercialized too, and it just gets too busy, and everybody always wants, you know, flowers and chocolates and to go out to eat. Someone like me doesn't mind so much because I never really got that stuff growing up. I was not popular, and it was like, I would love to get some flowers. I would love to get some chocolates or something. You know, I don't mind. I love Reese's, guys, just so you know. But it is over commercialized a little bit, and sometimes just staying in home with somebody and cooking together is nice too. So you don't really have to worry about any of that. And for those of us that are single like myself, like not going to happen this year, you know, and I'm not being negative when I say that. I know things. My time is coming, but not now. I know that somebody is, you know, in my life, and I just have a feeling that things are going to change for me soon. So I'm going with my intuition here. When it does, you know, you'll probably be the first to know because I like talking to you guys about everything. But right now it's just me and the cat, and we're trying to change our situation, and we want to get a place of our own. I want to get rich and buy a house. Don't we all, right? You want to share the lottery win with me? By all means, please do. That lottery was up pretty high the other night, you know. Anyway, sorry guys. I go off on my tangents. Screaming conductors in trains, and they're all on different tracks and about to crash. That's how my mind is sometimes. Oh, ADHD is fun. So my King of Wands, take care of yourself. And you see he's sitting and he's resting, and he has to have a walking stick because he's just tired. So rejuvenate. That's going to be important for you. So I know how you're feeling. Here's the suggestion I make, but it's up to you guys what you want to do. Do what rejuvenates you. And I'm happy with that. So now we go on to the next one. This is I feel, this one is I need. So you need. So this is how you feel. This is what you need. After the month of December, what you need is a vacation because this is the 8 of Cups. So, you know, the universal meaning is like walking away or seeking out something greater. But I feel like you need a vacation, honestly. And like, you're like, man, I just had people in and I just had a vacation for Christmas, you know, but just because you have that time off from work or wherever, it doesn't mean you weren't running around like a chicken with your head cut off. You were having to wrap gifts and cook food and have people in or going to see people. Some of you did travel, but this is for you. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. I heard a lady talking today about how she just came back from a cruise, and I'm like, that sounded awesome. Like, I want to go. If you want to go, go. So maybe plan ahead a little bit. I mean, January might be a bit soon, but if you think, and it doesn't have to be something that fancy. Like, you don't have to fly to some exotic island or take a cruise to Alaska. You know, I would say, even if you just want a quick getaway, you know, you and the girls have a little weekend trip. Go get a cabin somewhere where you can relax, rejuvenate, sit around the fire and have drinks, like drink your wine and swap stories about all the crazy stuff that happened this past year. I think that's great. I get the feeling that you could do that. You can have a guy's trip too, whatever you want to do. It could be mixed. You and your partner can go. You can go with friends, and it could just be a huge group of social friends. I've done that before. And you just decide to go somewhere. Go get a cabin somewhere or go to a lake somewhere. I mean, it's wintertime, but if you want to go somewhere where it's quiet, it's peaceful, you can have a fire, just to get away. just to get away from technology, get away from the city, all the noises, and just tap back into nature. I think that is the biggest thing about this Eight of Cups. Had to get a drink of water there. So yeah, the Eight of Cups, that is it. You need a vacation. You need to get away, even if it's just for a quick weekend. So decide what you want to do with that. And there's nothing wrong with a staycation. So, you know, maybe you're just happy in your house. And if you want to just lock yourself away for a weekend, it's the same thing. You're tired and you need a break. So if you want to stay in and binge watch, you can do that too. Take some time off work if you need to do that. Or if you get to work from home and you can get things done and have a little bit more peace and quiet and freedom to do what you need to do, then by all means. I highly encourage it. The next one is I forgive, or you forgive. If you're doing it for yourself, it's I. But when I'm doing this for all of you, it's you. You as in all of you watching. So you forgive, and this is the Two of Pentacles. So Pentacles is earthy. You forgive yourself. But what are you forgiving yourself for? Running yourself into the ground. Because look at that. You're tired and so tired that you need to get away. This is all starting to be a theme, you notice? So you're tired. You need to give yourself some you time. And no matter how you do that, how you get away for the weekend or plan something out. But forgive yourself, because you're sitting here. The Two of Pentacles can be about making decisions. But I feel like it's also juggling. And I can just see you juggling. You're juggling everything. You're juggling your personal life. You're juggling the holidays. You're juggling friends, family, you know, maybe romantic partners. You're juggling career. You're just like all these things. And you're like, I've got too many balls in the air. I've got to do something. So you've run yourself into the ground. I mean, it's good to be grounded, but not ground meat. Like you need to, it's okay to daydream. You need to give yourself time to dream, to daydream, to feel lighter and airy and just enjoy yourself. So it's okay to forgive yourself. I mean, you've been grinding those gears. If you want to look at that, that's kind of what it reminds me of. You've been grinding your gears pretty tough, and it's been kind of stressful because there's just been a lot of things and people and places to think about with December and all the holidays and everything. So forgive yourself. It's fine. It's okay. Like, if you've needed to stop and just take a moment to yourself to go in the bathroom and cry, even if you had a bunch of people over, forgive yourself. We all do it. We all have to take a break and go, man, this is a lot right now. And I just, you know, sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes you're overstimulated. It's just too much and you need a break. So you can forgive yourself for all, you know, not being able to handle everything, or for getting emotional, or for lashing out and snapping. You know, like, it's okay to forgive yourself. People get a little snippy around this time of year. You see a lot of people get to be grouchy and bah humbug. And I get it. Sometimes it's too much Christmas music, and sometimes people are too damn cheery. I choose to be more positive about it, but there are days when it's just like, ugh, whatever. I feel like the Grinch. So it's okay. So while you're forgiving yourself for that, that's just a pretty simple message. Forgive yourself for that. And you know what? Grease your wheels and give them a rest, grease them, and get back out there, and you'll be fine. Again, it's all about taking that break. And then we come down to, like, you celebrate. So what is it that you're celebrating? Well, you've got the Three of Pentacles. This is all about collaboration and, you know, working with other people, socializing, camaraderie. This is like the foundation for friendship. And yes, you're celebrating that you have friends and family, and you got the chance to socialize this past month. So even though December could be wearing on you, you are stopping to reflect and be grateful for, you know, these people that are in your life, your friends, your family, your significant other, your coworkers, yourself. And you are happy that you got to see people. So I know that for most of you, it's worth it. It's worth the headache sometimes, because when it all comes down to it, you actually get down to the day and you get to open gifts and you're sharing food with people. And there's a lot of, you know, you get to see people you haven't seen in a while. And there's a lot of hugs and sometimes tears, and there's a lot of laughter and telling funny stories and watching children's faces light up when Santa's brought them something, and, you know, you get the goodies out of the stocking. all the food. Like, there's just so many things to be grateful for here. And you're stopping to reflect and be grateful for those relationships that you have. So celebrate that. Yes, I'm glad that you guys are celebrating that. You guys understand, like, the true reason for the season. It's not, I mean, and not to offend anybody. Yes, for some people it's all about Christ, but of course technically he wasn't born until, like, I don't know, April or something like that. But it's we're celebrating just all kinds of people, all kinds of holidays, and it's just kind of coming together to celebrate generosity and kindness in times of need. I think that's a very simple way to put it. And yeah, I celebrate it. You celebrate it. Congrats. Let's pat ourselves on the back for that. Let's celebrate ourselves for at least acknowledging the good in the stress of this past month. So now what we're going to do is we're going around. We're starting to be good here. It's been stressful. We're relaxing. We're coming around going, it was worth it. And then we go to the Hanged Man. And so it's a fetus in a bottle. It's weird, I know. But the Hanged Man is representing I release, or you release. So what are you releasing for this past December? With the Hanged Man, I think that you might have been hung up on some things, or I think there were some worries about certain things, like, am I going to get everything done? Did I get all my shopping done? Am I going to have this food? Is the food going to be cooked in time for everybody to sit down and eat? Because I don't want delays. Some of you are very hard on yourself. I know I am. But there's, like, these worries about things. Like, am I doing a good enough job? Are people going to like their gifts? And, oh my gosh, family's coming. How am I going to keep Uncle so-and-so from fighting with Aunt so-and-so? Like, are they going to start blowing up over politics and stupid bullshit like that? Honestly, isn't that the worst, right? I don't know if I should say, but... and we don't have that big, like, my family's kind of shrunk quite a bit, and it's a little bit fractured, and people don't come around, but people they have enough kids or grandkids that they all go to different places, so, and most of the grandparents have passed on, so I think all of them have. I don't know if there's anybody left, really. And then I'm not terribly close to some of my great aunts or uncles or things like that. I've always loved and appreciated them, but I, don't have that kind of relationship. But I will say, like, even though it's small, sometimes you still have to deal with the headache. And I'm not sure if I should say this, but yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. I was trying not to laugh a little bit, but I was like, oh no, here we go. My uncle, my uncle is kind of, old school, or I don't know what to call it. I don't say a little bit backwoods, but, like, I don't want to say good old boy either. I don't know what the correct term is, but here in Oklahoma, he's used to doing things a little bit different, and he was talking about seeing a squirrel on our back fence while we were sitting there at the dinner table, and my father's gotten a little bit more religious since then, so my uncle was saying, oh, look at that squirrel back on the back fence. We're all staring at the squirrel, and he's like, I'd eat it. And then my father goes into, oh, well, the Bible says we can't eat that. And then they start arguing on that a little bit. I mean, they kind of go back and forth, and I'm like, man, I hope this doesn't turn into something else. I just thought it was hilarious that they're arguing over squirrel meat, of all things. I personally don't want to eat the squirrel because I like squirrels, but, and frogs too. I can't do frog legs. It's like frogs are friends, not food. But give me fish and seafood. I mean, it's weird. I know. I don't think there's enough meat on a frog to even want it, but okay. So, I mean, when I talk about how these funny things that are happening, you got to release these things that are not your fault. They're out of your control. If people don't show up on time, that's out of your control. If something happens with the food and you get delayed on dinner, it's sometimes it's out of your control. You can do the best you can and still have an incident and still be like, oh, I forgot this. I forgot that. We completely forgot to make any pies for Christmas Day, which is okay because we found out, like, people having health issues and they shouldn't have a lot of sugar or salt. So now I've got 2 people in the house that I've got to worry about, with one with diabetes, one that could get diabetes. Shoot, I've been on the fence myself. I've been, like, pre-diabetic technically in the past, and so I usually try to watch that when I can. I've never fully gone over it, and I'm doing really well right now with, like, a 40-pound weight loss, so I'm fine, but it's still something, like, I don't want to get out of control. As I get older, it gets harder, and you just definitely want to rewind on that for sure. but release it. You can't control everything. And, you know, if kids act up and are screaming and crying, that's not you. That's up to the parents to take care of that. Like, if they're your kids, I mean, they're going to embarrass you no matter what. You can embarrass them too. I saw a kid like was acting out at a Walmart once. I think this was a couple of years ago. I had it on my Facebook memories, but this kid was screaming and crying and like, you know, like making all these noises. And the mother threw herself down on the ground and threw a tantrum and go, "Way, I'm a kid and I'm not getting my way because my mom won't buy me anything." And she embarrassed the crap out of that kid. And I'm like, she kind of embarrassed herself, but I wanted to clap and be like, man, the Oscar goes to, you know, it was great. Seeing her like do that to her own kid, I was like, that's some parenting right there. I thought it was funny. But I thought that is because kids don't realize how bad they look. They don't care about that. When they're young, they don't even realize how annoying they can be. And then when you show them, they're like, oh. It's kind of funny how that works out. But so this is about letting go. The hangman is where you get hung up on all these worries and you get hung up on making decisions and stuff because you're like, I don't know what to do because if I do this, this person's not going to be happy. Do what makes you happy. If other people aren't happy, that's on them, not on you. So this hangman is about letting go, like release those hang-ups that you have about things not being perfect or running smoothly, things that are out of your control. It's not your fault. If it's somebody else's burden to carry, let them carry it. You don't need to be Atlas carrying the world for them. So it's fine. So let that go on the I release. And the last card we have is you trust. And so what is it that you're trusting about this past month? What are you trusting in? And so here we have the Seven of Pentacles. Again, we're back to Earth. It seems like the Pentacles, you know, these Pentacles here have been pretty good. With this, you're trusting in like the relationships that you're building. And even though it's stressful, it's actually good. Everything's meant to happen as it's meant to happen. So having all this family come in or going to visit family, as stressful as it might be for you to sit there and listen to people argue or bicker or screaming kids and all that, and it really does help you figure out what you want and don't want in your life and in your future. But you're also, you know, you're getting to see your friends, your family, people that you don't get to see very often. And when I remind you of that, it's just a reminder that you're building on these relationships. You're keeping these relationships good. You're showing the love and the kindness and like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever. We need to get together. This is helping you network and create connections and keep those connections strong. And this is what you need to trust in because this is going to help you out down the road. Because as you go, one of these days, someone's going to say, hey, I'm doing Christmas this year. Come to me. And you're going to get to go somewhere different. And you won't have to worry about cooking the food. And you won't have to worry about, you just have to worry about the rest. But if it takes one thing less off your plate and you have an options, then, you know, I think that helps you. But you're also building these friendships, these lasting relationships that, you know, they're going to be there for you till your very end. And, you know, when you have those kind of loving relationships and friendships and familial type relationships, whether it's actual family or not, like, that's going to be fulfilling for you. That's where it matters. And you're willing to put up with all the stress of the holiday just to be able to see those people and to connect with them because it feels good. And then you could be like, you never know where it will lead. Like, oh yeah, we should do that sometime. And then you end up hanging out with this person or that person. And it just kind of enriches your life. So trust that all of this crazy month is there for a reason. And it's helping you, you know, trust in the fact that it's helping you recognize like, oh, I recognize when I'm depleted of energy and I need to self-care, take a vacation. I recognize that I need to forgive myself. I recognize and trust in the fact that I appreciate the relationships I have and that these are going to help me bond and build into the future. So you're building kind of like a little garden and this is your life. You're building it up and it's blooming and, you know, you want it to bloom. You don't want it getting mowed down and have nothing, you know? So pay attention and you're letting go of the little things that shouldn't affect you. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. So trust that things are happening for a reason and that, you know, the people that are in your life are there for a reason. And then the Ascendant Oracle, I remembered the name. I forgot it last time. You have Ascension. I love this. This is you rising above. I don't know where I saw that, but yeah, you're rising above things, like you're ascending. This is kind of like where you're tied into the divine, you're connected. But for me, it's about perspective. And this sort of goes with the hangman. The hangman is about changing your perspective on things. When you let go of what isn't your fault, like you can rise above, you're seeing the bigger picture. So you can kind of see not just the bigger picture, but all the players and the situations happening. And you're like, oh, this isn't my fault. This is on them. And then when you realize that, it just makes you handle things a whole different way. It's a hell of a lot less stressful. And you can go about your day without issue. So you're getting a better perspective and you're rising above it and going, okay, now that I understand where everybody's coming from, I understand how stressed they are too. You have a lot more compassion. Instead of reacting in a stressful way, you're being more compassionate because you understand everybody else is just as stressed as you are. So this ascension kind of helps you kind of just have awareness and realize all of these things and why they are the way they are. Your Moonology card is New Moon in Aquarius. Bring love into the situation. Yes, this is love of self, love of yourself, but loving others, make sure you self-love, self-care for yourself, but this is the love of those people and why you put up with them and the Christmas gifts and the music and the food. Like you do everything because you want everybody to be happy and to socialize, and you just, I don't know, sometimes I get where it's too lonely and quiet, and when I need to people, the holidays are when I need to people, and that's when I like having everybody around, and it feels good to just have a house full of people. And then later on, it's just like, now I can go back to being, quiet, peace and quiet with nobody, and I'm good for a while. So you kind of just have to take it in phases, but bring love into it. Love yourself and love others. Simple. Your angel oracle guide is opportunity and change. I love this. So there's opportunity and change. This is an opportunity with you letting go of things and you realizing, becoming aware of what it is you need to do for yourself after the holidays. Yes, there's going to be these new opportunities for you to self-care and to do things for yourself. Indulge yourself, treat yourself. It's good to do that. And January is a great time to do that. Just January, February, whenever you want. It's a good time to just treat yourself. And once you get your refreshment of energy, then you can go back and look at these things and reflect on them. And this will help you change your mindset to, like, okay, I don't need to be so stressed at the holidays anymore. I was stressed for this reason, but now I realize other people are stressed too. And if I am not stressed, then maybe I can put that energy out to other people to be less stressed too. So opportunities and change. Keep your mind open as you go into January and this new year. There will be new opportunities and there'll be things that you want to change about yourself or about your life, and there'll be positive changes. So look forward to that. Your color card is Ruby, number 8, rejuvenate your body. Very important. Very important. Ruby, that's the birth month, or it's the birthstone of July, which is my birth month. So I'm a Ruby. Number 8 can be traced back to the major arcana of strength. So now's the time to rejuvenate and get your strength back, get your energy back, bounce back, however you want to do that. But once you get back on your feet, you're going to be raring to go into the new year. So, but rejuvenate your body. That's what I said. You need to rest and you need to treat yourself. So, and even if that means getting away for a weekend and just chilling, then just do that. Talk about wearing rubies. There's lots of ruby jewelry out there if you want. It's a beautiful, beautiful stone. But wear the jewelry or wear the color. If you like jewel tones, some people look great in jewel tones. I've been told I do. I got olive skin tone, so maybe I do. I tend to look better in it than I do certain neutrals. But maybe try wearing the ruby color, but you can also carry red stones with you. It doesn't have to be an actual ruby because we know how expensive real gemstones are. But I'm sure there's ruby red gemstones that you can find that are kind of like that. I'm trying to think of one right now. I think of carnelian. Garnet's a little bit darker, but if you carry something in this red tone, I'm sure it's fine. It's good for you. It's good for your body. Just carry those around. It'll be helpful for focus, for energy, for, attention, things like that. So yeah, enjoy that. And then I had to end on a good note. So my inner effing peace deck. We have to let that crazy ass shit go. That means let go of those things you can't control and just enjoy yourself now and treat yourself. The path to inner peace begins with 4 words, not my fucking problem. I love that. I love that. It's not your problem. Leave it to everybody else's. I think that's a great way to end. So go enjoy yourself, treat yourself, just chill out and nap and do whatever you want. Take a whole day for yourself and then check in with yourself and see how you feel. So I hope this end of month check-in was good for you. We could try doing another one another time. So let me know if you liked it. Please comment and let me know how things are going, if this is something that you've been dealing with. But until the next one, guys.